The first time I saw my son-in-law, my daughter popped in for a few minutes to introduce me to her fiancé. What can I say? Well, what can I say? When I looked at him, I appreciated him. He's a normal and strong guy, everything I like. A homebody, unlike me. And the second time we met was at a family celebration, whether it was New Year's Eve or another celebration. By then he was already considered a member of the family. Handsome, as they say, my new son-in-law had everything on the mark. Height, appearance, manners. I liked him. Not to hide, there was something else about him that reminded me of my first love. They looked so much alike that I had goosebumps running down my spine, even though it had been years since I'd last seen him. It was at this family gathering that everything happened. My first love had the same face, and even the build was eerily familiar. It excited me, made me tense, almost embarrassed. If he handed me a dish rag, a blush appeared on my cheeks. I felt something for him. Everyone was showing a certain interest. Quiet music played, and my son-in-law invited me to a slow dance. The room was dimly lit, and the guests didn't pay much attention to us. Everyone was busy doing their own thing. Let them roast marshmallows or something. I, on the other hand, preferred to take the opportunity to chat with my son-in-law. Meanwhile, he seemed to be a little impressed with me, too. His gaze lingered on me as we settled on the comfortable couch, each holding a cup of lemonade, and chatted about nothing in particular. At one point, the conversation turned to business, and he looked at me intently. I pretended not to notice, but I wanted him to look at every detail. His cheekbones tensed, and I thought, "You're mine now." He grinned back and asked me to dance again, pulling me even tighter against him than before. My daughter wasn't around at that moment. She'd run out to the store for a few minutes to get something for the table. My mind was foggy, and all I could think about was finding a private place with my son-in-law. He turned out to be smarter than me. He went to the bathroom as if to wash his hands, but he was actually looking at me very intently. I followed him like a mouse, my heart pounding. Suddenly he fished me out of the bathroom, and I stayed inside for a few minutes, washing my face with cold water and fixing my makeup. When my daughter returned, she didn't notice anything unusual. Only the glint in her son-in-law's eyes gave away his feelings. Whether he liked it or not, I couldn't tell, but from the look in his eyes, he was pleased. Let's just say I'm 50 years old. I try to keep in shape, but young girls are always better. It's not even an insult. It's just reality. A couple days later, they came again without company. I quickly rushed to the bedroom, putting on lacy and expensive lingerie just in case. Luck smiled on me when my son-in-law asked his wife to run to the store to get some juice. As soon as she came out, I realized what was about to happen. We sat down at the table and he signaled with a look that there would be a sequel. I nodded in response. Yes, but not tonight, I thought. We spent the evening with the kids, drinking juice, and then they went home. Only after I showered did my daughter call. Don't look so surprised, but your son-in-law forgot his phone and will be right back. I thought he forgot it on purpose so he could see me again. When I opened the door, wearing only a short robe, he saw me. He seemed to be completely immersed in his thoughts. The next time we met was a week later. He came running to me after work, and I didn't have to be coaxed for long. Even my daughter scolds me, saying I have too many friends, but what does she know? So here I am saying, eggs don't teach the chicken to lay. You wouldn't believe who came to tea with me. It's just my personality. I get such pleasure when I see someone fall for it. Either it cools off, or it's the other way around, one or the other. So I told him, I'm sorry, but it's not you. It's just that you remind me of my first love. He took no offense and replied, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. On the contrary, it's a happy coincidence. We see each other from time to time. I don't have the strength to keep him at a distance. As soon as I see him, everything swims before my eyes. My son-in-law is no fool either. He seizes the moment. I never thought I'd be privy to such a secret, but what can I do? Today, as you can guess, my daughter is not asking me any questions. She has no idea. What they talk about is none of my concern. My concern is setting the table if they come to visit, and I have a special treat for some guests. But only one person knows about this treat, my son-in-law. It is for him that I try to make the treat. I try to involve others if necessary, but if not, I close the door in their face. That's how we live our lives.